Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm just sitting around having a good time, man. Been on Twitter a little bit. We got to talk about it, man. I think I'm gonna start calling these random episodes just, you know, uh, probably something else. I'm gonna probably name it something else because
Let's see if
I usually get these ideas and have these videos where it's just like I've been on Twitter and see some shit and just want to talk about it. One of the things that we're going to talk about is Nintendo's failure with the online, which I already made a video talking about how the Nintendo 64 misses the mark, how the Sega Genesis misses the mark by not including the no shit list of games that should be there on launch, and how Nintendo in fact missed with Super Smash Bros, talking about they're fixing to have the final Ultimate Smash Bros, the new game, right? Smash Bros Ultimate for Nintendo Switch. They're fixing to announce the final DLC character. I think it's in October, they said. So they're fixing to do that in October. They're gonna launch a Nintendo 64 part to the online service and not include Smash Bros in the service. Are you? How dumb can you be? That should have been a no-brainer. I don't know who the fuck you have up there, Nintendo, but y'all are missing the easiest steps, the most simple steps. You're making the dumbest mistakes by not including Smash Bros from the Nintendo 64 where it started in launching this fucking service. Well, this additional service, which honestly, if there's a price increase, it's not justified. I would not support this, okay? If, in fact, I will give you in this right here, I'll give this to you. Free of charge, Nintendo. Just ask your boy about future ideas, okay? If you want, you can increase the price to $60 a year. Now, before you go and thumbs down the video and type in angrily, no, fuck out of here. Listen to what I'm fixing to say. If you want to charge $60 a year, go for it, okay? The way you win is you offer every single game on the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the N64, and the Sega Genesis. If you hit us with the entire library offer for each one of these consoles and it's $60 a year, no one is complaining about that. People are voicing more because we have every right to be upset. These are no shit titles, and people are making fun of the fact Mario 64 is even on this service at launch, even though it's a no-brainer that it would be. But Mario is drowning this service at launch. It makes up over 50% of the titles. And I have asked the question several times, what the hell is Winback? I never heard of that game, and I owned a Nintendo 64. What the fuck is that? I saw Sin and Punishment, which I know is a Japanese game. I know it started in Japan and they never brought it over. So that game I kind of look at in the same sense of Star Fox 2. How we got it on the Super Nintendo Mini. That's how I look at it. Okay, you're giving us a game like Sin and Punishment that we never got here. How about giving us Animal Crossing? You know, the original Animal Crossing. You could give us that instead of whatever the fuck Winback is. Hell, you can give us the original Animal Crossing over Dr. Mario. Hell, you can give it to us over Mario Tennis. There's so many games that I can remove. Why is Mario... Let's see, we got Mario Kart. We got Mario 64. Mario Tennis. Yoshi's Story, which is a Mario game. We got Dr. Mario. That's 5 titles that have to do with Mario. We have Ocarina of Time, Sin and Punishment, Winback, and I think maybe one Kirby game. And I'm probably wrong about that. But see how most of these are Mario titles? And they're saying after this service launches with Nintendo 64, they're going to put out Mario Golf. Why don't you put Mario Golf and Mario Tennis in the same thing? Remove Mario Tennis, Mario Tennis. Remove that game, remove Winback, give us fucking Smash Bros, original Nintendo 64 Smash Bros to encourage people to use the 4-player aspect of the online shits, and You can keep Mario Kart, but do something where that game interacts with Mario Kart 8. Something. I don't know what, but something. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is out here dying because there's been absolutely nothing since the Breath of the Wild update. Nothing. And the fact Smash Bros is having a whole direct, more than likely, sometime in October to announce the final DLC, why would you skip out on offering Smash Bros at the exact same time the damn thing goes live where it started? That just seems like a miss. Now, what did I see on Twitter that had me say what the fuck today? Well, what I saw was somebody literally said because Bayonetta 3 was offered only on Nintendo Switch that it was not going to live up to its full potential. Where did you get that idea from? I'm just curious. The Nintendo Switch has sold almost 80 million units. It's still selling perfectly fine. And if I remember correctly, didn't both Sony and Microsoft deny Bayonetta? Like, didn't they say they were not going to fund Bayonetta 2 because the first one sold like shit on their respective consoles? So Nintendo steps in. They say they'll fund it. We not only get Bayonetta 2, now we're on to Bayonetta 3 because Nintendo stepped in. Who in the hell is that damn dumb to be like, well, you know, Bayonetta 3 looks good, but it's not going to do well because it's on Nintendo? Bitch boy, let me tell you something. If Sony or Microsoft had have taken that investment into Bayonetta, you would have Bayonetta on your piece of plastic. But no, they're not interested in Bayonetta. No, they were not interested in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Stop complaining when a company does something that benefits the players of said community. Just because it's not on your said piece of plastic anymore, just should tell you maybe you shouldn't ride or die for that company. Maybe you should go out and invest in another one who obviously has your interest over the one you prefer. You see what I'm saying? Because if I was a Sony fan, I would be upset at the fact they didn't want to keep Bayonetta going after Bayonetta 1. Considering what it did on Nintendo and what it's going to continue doing for Nintendo, that would make me upset, but I would in no way condemn Nintendo for doing something pro-consumer like that. This is why I don't get along with people on the internet per se that well, because you're going to condemn Nintendo for saving franchises? Those franchises are dead if Nintendo doesn't come in and save them. You really think Resident Evil had a chance before Revelations on the 3DS? Come on, man. People were tired of Resident Evil. People did not give a damn about Resident Evil 5. People didn't give a shit about Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil Revelations came out on the 3DS, got so good, so popular, that they had no choice but to put it on everything. And they put it on everything. Resident Evil 5 and 6 did not save Resident Evil. It was a copy of a game that was made for a portable device. You see what I'm saying? But then Resident Evil went and they soft rebooted into a FPS type of game. And I'm not saying it's bad, but 7's definitely not up there in that best ever game for me. It's way overhyped for majority of what I've heard, and I've played and beat the game, so you see what I'm saying? But never sit there and condemn a company that is going about getting it, you know, giving you what you want just because they're not your preferred piece of plastic. If Nintendo is where you got to go because Sony didn't want to buy Bayonetta, shut the hell up and go to Nintendo. And then complain to Sony about it. Be like, bitch, why didn't you buy this fucking game? That way I didn't have to buy the damn piece of plastic. If you would have bought the damn game I wanted to play, I could be playing it on your piece of plastic. You're losing money because of your ignorance. See what I'm saying? That's how that works. But you're literally going to say Bayonetta 3 is going to do terrible. It's not going to sell because it's on Nintendo, even though Nintendo is the only company to put money into Bayonetta after the first one. And even so, still, they're planning on putting the second one on other consoles. I don't know if they're going to. That's what I've been told, is they're planning on letting that go to other consoles, which technically gives me an idea for the Sony fan base. How about you give up Metal Gear Solid 4? How about you do that? Give up Metal Gear Solid 4 as a PS3 stranded title. Give it to Xbox, give it to Nintendo, I really don't care who. But give it to somebody who can play the damn thing, because Jeff Ryan doesn't give a damn about old consoles. He doesn't give a damn about old video games. How about letting people who want to play some of those old titles play some of those fucking titles that are stranded, like Metal Gear 4. You want to play Bayonetta so bad, Nintendo, I got an idea. You can give them Bayonetta 2 if you want to, but we better get Metal Gear Solid 4 in return. I'm sick of that game being stranded on Sony's platform, because there's way that, you know, if they weren't so strict about it, I could play it like through PS Now, which is why I say Sony's relevance is laughable. You know, but like I said, I don't understand that that kind of thinking. You're gonna condemn Nintendo for saving certain video game IPs. You're gonna condemn Nintendo for continuing a series you yourself are interested in. There's a level of stupid with that, and you gotta be a Sony fanboy, because I've talked to fanboys on all three, and out of the three, the dumbest tend to be the Sony ones. I'm literally not even gonna have to try to pick on you guys, because it's Sony fanboys telling me it costs Sony too much money to advertise and push and promote their own fucking service, when Google is the exact same service with less shit to offer right now. You could literally get out in front of that.
I don't understand.
Damn it, Google. Shut the hell up, Google. That's you dig what I'm saying? You could literally, you know what I'm saying? You could literally see PlayStation wipe them out. They're not going to. They don't want to push PS Now. They don't want to add PS Now to all devices like PCs, tablets, smartphones, smart televisions, where they could have had it and did have it when it first came out, but removed it. So until they get on that level, I don't see the relevancy even mattering. Because while everyone's so pushed back against digital services and streaming and and no disc drives and all that, I'm out here living in 2021 because consoles are not even necessary anymore, and I am a person who does not necessarily believe in playing keyboard and mouse. If that's your thing, that's your thing. Me, I prefer a controller. That's just my deal. But to give you some kind of insight to it, like, no, I really don't give a shit when it comes down to it about whether we play with a controller or we play with a keyboard and mouse, because that's a personal preference, which means it's on the person, not anything else. If you like mouse and keyboard, you're going to be on computer. If you like controller, you're going to be on a console. Or like with Stadia, you have a controller you hook up to your computer via Bluetooth or cord, and now you have a controller that you can use to play games. And being that games are, now just available to play on anything, where the console is definitely not needed, I'm firmly looking at it as, dude, consoles don't matter no more. They really don't. I don't need a series to experience the series. I literally can use xCloud and experience those games. I can, I can play Xbox games on a PC. I can play Xbox games through Microsoft Store on my PC. I can go to Steam and buy some Microsoft games through Steam. Just because I'm buying Microsoft's product doesn't mean I gotta buy their fucking plastic box, because the games, the content is not limited to the box. It's only your imagination, the limits. You can play it on a cell phone, you can play it on a tablet, you can play it on a PC, you can play them through a console, on a smart television. Hopefully they'll figure out a way to get xCloud to just stream directly to a TV, so then it's just a television needed. It's 2021, not 2001. We're not in the past. This shit has been relevant for a long time now. And the fucked up part is Microsoft is the one working at it. It's funny how things that were so negative in 2013 turned out to be shit that's kind of normalized in 2021. People buy majority digitally now when it comes to video games. Majority of digital sales means just that. Majority of games right now are sold digitally from PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. Capcom, Konami, Bethesda, all these companies make up a big chunk of their money. Over 60% of their money comes from the digital side of gaming, which is something everybody was super afraid of in 2013. Here we are, it's 2021. Majority of sales are made through the most convenient of methods. GameStop has been a piss poor company for a while now, before the pandemic, who was going under beforehand because their service sucked. Not because games were going digital, but because their service sucks. I would love to be able to just walk into a GameStop and kick it, but that's not the kind of customer they want. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to have people behind the counter who actually know a little something outside of Call of Duty or Halo or Forza or some shit like that, the most mainstream games. No, they wanted to be a shill. They wanted to be a shell of a company with no actual insides. They just wanted to be hollow, and the cracks kind of exposed that to where now we see we don't need GameStop. And I've been trying to tell GameStop for the longest, you gotta quit acting as if you're not needed. You need to act as if you're needed, but you also need to remain humble, meaning when you start to notice that you're the problem with gaming and pricing, when it comes to customer service, when it comes to product responsibility. I can't stress that one enough. Product responsibility. The PS3 had Blu-rays, the 360 had regular ass DVDs. Okay, regular ass high definition DVDs, whatever you want to call them, they're basic as hell. And GameStop got to the point where it was like going to Blockbuster to rent a title. You didn't know if the game was going to work or not because majority of the discs looked like someone skipped them down the road. GameStop, that is your fault. The reason you're failing is you. Nobody is saying they would not go to a GameStop if you were respectable not only to the clientele, but your own fucking employees and the industry in which you are supposed to work in. The reason you're failing is you're disrespectful. You act as though the world can't live without you, when the world definitely will live without you and move on and forget about you. Oh. So that's what I wanted to talk about, just those things, because that's what I was seeing online on the Twitters, and it just kind of made me sit back and go, my God, look at how far we've come in the world from not only just 2-3 years ago talking about digital is nowhere near ready to here we are in 2021, and a console gamer is saying consoles are irrelevant, they don't matter, with evidence of them not mattering or being relevant, to talking about how a game store is the problem with the game store even being successful, because the game store has shitty practices and shitty customer service and everything else. Imagine that, man. Imagine being able to bring GameStop back because you humbled yourself. You took responsibility and cleaned the fucking discs. You actually started offering products with quality. Imagine GameStop. You can go to GameStop, buy a used console, and it actually be a decent used console, not something they put in a mail truck and sent to another store because they were trying to convince you it's got to be sent off for repairs. No, I'm just going to another store. You see what I'm saying? Imagine that. And I'm not saying that's how it works at all of them, but the fact that there's any of them that do that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know, man. What do y'all think, man? You think Bayonetta is going to be just fine? I think it's doing just fine over on Nintendo. It's making a whole lot of money. And these fans of Bayonetta are now starting to realize, oh, because Bayonetta got bought out by Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft just kind of sat with their thumb up their ass about it. You got to miss out. Maybe say something to Sony. Maybe say something to Microsoft about these games. I'm still wondering where Alan Wake is, why everybody is celebrating Alan Wake coming to the Nintendo Switch and getting a remastered version for the PS5. I'm more concerned about what the fuck. This is the first game we get from Remedy on the PlayStation side of things, and it's a remake instead of, I don't know, say the second game. That would have been more impressive, but I digress. I'm up out of here. I'll talk at y'all later, and remember, man, hey, yeah.